Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley, and I was supposed to be doing a position breakdown for the special teams unit for the 2020 season, and we are still going to get into that. We're going to move forward with that. The Talkin VAWLS crew is just going to move right along as if college football is going to take place. But first and foremost, the college football is in scramble mode right now. You know, just a couple of days ago, we're talking about a 10-game conference-only schedule, the additions made to Tennessee's football schedule. JP dropped a video. A lot of you checked that out, which we appreciate. And it's kind of a JP rant, which I always enjoy a JP rant. I wish he would have got a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more fired up. But he made some good points. I highly encourage you to go check that out when it comes to the opponents that were added to Tennessee's proposed schedule for 2020. But is that going to change? I mean, here we are now, just a couple of days later, and we don't know what's going to happen in the world of college football. It seems to be up and down, just constant change day to day. Everything is fluid when it comes to COVID. You've got rumors circulating today that the Big Ten and Pac-12 are going to cancel their seasons. I mean, there was an article came out that it was fact that the Big Ten athletic directors voted and decided no football in 2020, no fall sports across the board. And then you got Dan Patrick even talking about it, commenting on it, saying that Iowa and Nebraska were the only two teams that voted to play this season. So then that kind of leads in, you got more tweets, more rumors, more speculation coming out that the SEC could be recruiting other teams to form some type of all-powerful COVID power conference. I don't know what is happening. I don't know what is taking place. I do know that right now, at the time of this recording, the SEC athletic directors are in a Zoom meeting. I don't know what they're meeting about. I don't know if they're just discussing how they're going to move forward, how this is going to change things. You've got Clay Travis tweeting out that Ohio State players and coaches want in the SEC for this season. Would that be a one-time exception? How does this change, the news that JP reported on just a couple of days ago? Do we go back to the drawing board and kind of replan how we're going to go forward with this season? That's going to completely change the schedules. It's going to completely change the opponents. You also have the ACC putting out that they don't care what other conferences do. They are going to play the ACC schedule as usual. What do you guys think? How do you think this is going to impact the 2020 season? Look, I know it seems to be a 50-50 thing. We put out a video. Again, we're trying to focus as if there's going to be a season. That's what we want to focus on. Let's move forward as if the Vols take the field this fall. But it seems to be 50-50 when we put out content. Some people just come in and say, well, it doesn't matter. This is stupid. We're not going to play football. And then other people on the other side are saying, well, they're definitely going to play football. It just, nobody knows what we're doing. Nobody knows how to move forward, what's going to take place. But I think it's interesting if the Big Ten decides to completely cancel their schedule, and the Pac-12 as well. That's the rumor that is circulating today. So what does that mean? Would they give a one-time exception if Iowa and Nebraska, or now, you hear Ohio State putting out that they want to join the SEC? Is that going to be allowed for one season only, one big power conference? How would that work? How many teams do you have to have? Do you have to have 20 teams, 30 teams? I don't know how all this is going to come out, how this is going to, what the resolution is. You've got the players, it got started, I think today, maybe late last night, hashtag we want to play. These kids want to play. They deserve the opportunity to play. If we can have high school football, if we can have peewee football, there is no reason why we can't have college football. And I thought there was an interesting tweet. I wish I had it here that I could share it up on the screen. Harbaugh tweeted out with the high results that they've had with their testing and their protocol and how they've went through camp. What's changed? What's changed between the NCAA allowing these teams to meet and practice versus now? Like, what's the difference? And again, Harbaugh had all the facts there. I would encourage you to go look up that tweet with the results that they've had and how they've gone, about their day-to-day practices. So that's interesting as well. Again, at Talkin VAWLS, we're going to keep moving forward. We're going to act as if there is going to be a football season. We hope there's a football season. We look forward to hanging out in those live chats with you guys, and we will go live once the schedule is confirmed. And if it's a 10-team SEC schedule, that's what we were expecting. We'll go live. If they completely shake things up, we're going to drop these position previews every Monday. I'm gonna touch on special teams just briefly. There's not a whole lot really to get into when it comes to special teams. JP is going to have the offensive line next Monday, and then Dauber will follow up. So be looking for those every Monday, kind of counting down to kickoff. And then we'll do a live stream once there's some type of schedule or we know what's going on, so we can hang out and interact with you guys, which will be a lot of fun. So that's all on that. Let me know. You know the deal. Hit that like button. Jump down in the comments. Let me know what do you think of a power conference, one big conference, or do you want to see the SEC only schedule, 10-team SEC play? Let me know what you think. But let's look at special teams just a little bit. Not going to spend a whole lot of time on this. Jay Graham, special teams coordinator. It's going to be interesting to see how he feels certain positions. Is he going to utilize starters? What's he going to do for some of those positions on the special teams? But what we do know is we've got Brent Semaglia returning for his senior season at kicker. Maglia, he's one of those guys he's money. You know, he's consistent. He's gotten better each year. That first season when he came out, he was really just like the long kicker specialty guy, the 40 to 50 yard range. So his percentage was a little low that first season, but then we've seen him consistently improve each year. And now he heads into his senior season, coming off of a solid junior year in 2019, 23 of 27 with a long of 53 yards, 85%, 85%. That's the kind of guy you want out there at kicker. You know, we don't really talk about – it's kind of like the long snapper. Nobody talks about the long snapper until the long snapper screws up. And it's the same thing with kicker. When you got somebody that's automatic, somebody that you can count on, somebody that's consistent, you don't really talk about them a lot. But Semaglia, looking forward to him coming back, having a solid senior year. I'm expecting Paxton Brooks to be at punter. We'll see how that plays out. But the guy that everybody is talking about when it comes to special teams, and that's Bayless Jones from USC. We're hoping this guy can show up and make an impact. Look, you go back and look at Evan Berry. That guy was a game changer. That guy was a special talent when it came to the return game. So, you know, I'm not saying that Bayless Jones is going to come in with that type of impact, but there's a lot of hype around this kid. The word you always hear is dynamic when it comes to him in the return game. His stats from 2019 at USC, he averaged 24 yards of return. He did have a long of 100 yards for a touchdown, but we'll see how that shakes out. I'm excited. Anytime you hear about a guy coming in the return game that you hear labeled as dynamic, that's exciting. That's a position that can make a difference in a football game. Especially, you know, if he's going to return kicks and punts both. You know, look at Callaway last year. Callaway made an impact. He made a lot of big returns in a lot of big games. So it'll be exciting to see what Jones can do coming out to Tennessee from USC. But like I said, I drew the short end of the stick here. Somehow I got stuck talking about special teams. Not a whole lot to talk about. Make sure you tune in next Monday. JP will be here talking about that big offensive line. And for those of you that don't know, JP played offensive line in high school and a little bit in college. So we'll call him the offensive line expert. If he's listening to this, he's probably laughing right now. But that's going to wrap it up for this video. Thank you guys for checking it out. Make sure, again, you hit that thumbs up. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. We're going to keep pumping out content, and we will go live as soon as we know what's going on. Again, we just want to be positive, optimistic. We don't want to think about fall without football, and we know that you guys are on board with us with that. So for the Talkin VAWLS Network, my name is Boogie Bentley, and I just got one thing left to say, and that is go Big Orange.
How like me, poets sat in our chains, soaking moonlit falls, unbroken past this inundation.